we have has been in the Prime Minister's Minister Department since 2004. He is well versed in an array of subjects, so this is an opportunity to be engaged in an interactive and informative session. He is as frank, outspoken, and straightforward as any politician will be. Put your hands together for YB Dato Sri Nazri Aziz. Moderating this session will be Sachin. Please give a round of applause for Sachin and YB on the stage.
A very good evening. I bid to Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Muhammad Nazri bin Abdul Aziz, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, and fellow participants. Today we are honoured to have Datuk Sri here with us for a no-holds-barred hard talk session. A big round of applause once again for Datuk Sri. The purpose of this session is for you, fellow students, here today to engage as well as voice your frank and honest questions to Datuk Sri. Before I proceed with the session, allow me to introduce our speaker. Datuk Sri was born in Perak and is a barrister at law from Lincoln's Inn, UK. He was called to the English bar in 1977. He was appointed as a senator for 2 terms from 1990 to 1995. He was then appointed as a Member of Parliament for the Padang Rengas constituency for 4 terms from 1995 till this present day. Datuk Sri has held a range of positions. From 1990 to 1995, he was the chairman for MARA. He was then appointed as Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department from 1990 to 1999. In 1999, Datuk Sri was made the Deputy Finance Minister. He was then the Minister of Entrepreneurial Development from 1999 to 2004. And from 2004 till now, Datuk Sri has been a Minister in the Prime Minister's Department. He is in charge of 17 departments, which range from Parliamentary Affairs, Suhakam, the Integrity Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Judicial Appointment Commission, the AG's Chambers, Legal Department, Judiciary, National Security Council, which includes emergency measures, JPA, the Election Commission, the Witness Protection Unit, Amanah Raya, Legal Aid Department, and Insolvency. I'm already losing my breath with all of this, so you can just imagine the hard work Datuk Sri has to put in. So, before opening the session to the floor, I will kickstart the session by asking Datuk Sri 2 of my own questions. And my first question is regarding the government's proposal to set up a law academy. This proposal has stirred a lot of confusion and controversy, with the Malaysian bar accusing the government of feeling threatened by an independent bar. So my question to you, Datuk Sri, is what is the need to set up a law academy and what role would it play? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Sachin, and delegates to the conference, I don't need to introduce myself because I have been introduced by Sachin. And actually, I would like to straight away do our work because I think I do not wish to waste any more time because I feel that this is time for you to ask me any questions, no holds barred. Ask me anything at all so that if I can answer, I will answer. Of course, the first question by Sachin is why the need to form the Law Academy. You know, the Law Academy is something which is done not just in Malaysia, which we intend to do, but also you look around our neighbors, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, they have what they call the Law Academy. And that is to pull together those law graduates who are not practicing lawyers. In our country, those who are called to the bar and they practice law, by law, they must be a member of the Bar Council without fail. The moment you want to practice, you must be a member of the bar. But there are thousands out there who are legally qualified people who are not practicing lawyers. For example, those who are working in the AG's chambers, the ex-judges, those who are working in the corporate sector, in the banking sector, and many others, the academics, lecturers, professors in universities. These are all legally qualified people, but without an association or any form of organization to pull them together. Now, when we propose to do this law academy, it is not to be used as a bargaining method to tame the Bar Council, never at all. Because when we form this law academy, the members cannot be from members of the bar. Because practicing lawyers must necessarily by law under Legal Profession Act 1976 be a member of the Bar Council. But we are looking at those people who are not practicing lawyers. And why we want to have this law academy? Because practicing lawyers will be more interested in their profession to practice law. It is difficult for us to request them to write papers, to do research, all those scholarship activities. It's difficult for us to ask them to do this because they'll be very busy with their practice. But with the formation of Law Academy, then we can bring all those people who are not members of the bar to be under one organization, and the government can request them to do papers, to do scholarship activities, and certainly they will not be that busy. And some of them are academicians who are by nature being professors and lecturers in law, will have the time to do research work and to promote legal activities in terms of scholarship in this country. That is the only reason why we decided to have this Law Academy, not because of anything else. Those imagined by some people who said that this is just to pit them against the Bar Council, that is not true at all. It is not the intention of government to do this. We always respect the role of the Bar Council to manage their professionals, but we feel that we need this Law Academy, just like in other countries, in order to promote scholarship activities in the legal field. So that's my answer to your question.
Thank you, Dato. On to my second question. I'll make this as brief as possible. After the 2008 general elections, we have seen a surge in student activism in Malaysia. We have witnessed constructive debates and discussions organized by student bodies like the UKEC, but we have also seen a radical shift in certain student groups. Examples of this were the Occupy Dataran protesters and also the mock funeral ceremony of the Prime Minister and the Higher Education Minister. So in your opinion, what should the limitations be with regards to activities carried out under the banner of student activism?
Of course, Malaysia is a country with laws, and laws must be enforced. And when you talk about freedom of movement, freedom of expression, there is no such thing as absolute freedom. Because I interpret freedom of expression or freedom of movement as something which any individual can do. But the moment your speech, your expression, or your movement affects the rights of the others, I think that is where your human rights stops. Therefore, we have laws in this country, and as I've said, there's no absolute freedom in any country in the world, because in all countries there are laws, and laws are meant to provide for certain regulations so that there's no infringement on the human rights of others. Therefore, I welcome freedom of expression. I've been trained as a lawyer, and I believe in freedom of association. But then, there are others also who have their human rights, which we also must respect. If somebody goes to the field, the middle of the field, and he swings his samurai sword, he can do that, no problem. He can swing in any way he likes. He can scream, he can do anything. But the moment the sword touches another person, it means that that is where your human rights stop, because you are infringing on the human rights of others. Otherwise, somebody will say, if he kills a person, you ask him, why you kill him? Oh, I'm exercising my freedom of movement. So can you really kill a person? You can't, all right? In every country, murder is a crime. So whatever you want to do, you can do. But the moment whatever you do will infringe on the rights of the others, that is where your rights will stop, and that is where the law will come, and we will enforce the law.
Thank you, Dato' Sri. Now we'll open the session to the floor. So,
Martin Pang from PJ. My question to Dato' Seri Nazri Aziz is, why is it that Dato' Ambiga, who fight for electoral reform, is threatened by UMNO MP to be hanged to death? And why is it being threatened to withdraw her citizenship in Malaysia and is accused being as a traitor in Malaysia? And why is it that people in support of Bersih 3.0 for clean and fair election having a peaceful rally in KL is served with tear gas and water cannon and being accused for having the intention to topple the government? Meanwhile, there's no action by the police against the people, mostly from Perkasa, UMNO supporters for throwing.
Can you list it as 1, 2, and 3? Because as I hear your question from here, I think it's all lumped into one. It's difficult for me to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So the first question is, why is it that the UMNO MP threatened Ambiga to be hanged to death and being threatened to withdraw her citizenship in Malaysia and accused she as a traitor in Malaysia? And the second one, why is it the people in support of Bersih 3 for clean and fair election having a peaceful rally in KL is served with tear gas, water cannon, and being accused by the UMNO leaders for having the intention to topple the government? And meanwhile, this is a third question, there's no action taken by the police against the people, mostly from Perkasa, UMNO member, supporters of UMNO, for throwing eggs, stone to the public, and attacking the reporters in Penang. Thank you.
If the rest of our...
Let me answer his question first. Number 2, those who went to demonstrate during the Bersih 3, they are not charged for expressing their views. They will be charged because they have committed an offense under the Peaceful Assembly Act. Yes? They are being penalized. If they are charged, they are penalized. It's not because of their views on anything at all. But they will be charged because they have committed an offense under the Peaceful Assembly Act. The Peaceful Assembly Act provides for anyone to express their views or opinions in places where we have gazetted as places for them to have their demonstration. I've said earlier that in exercising your freedom of expression, it must not affect the freedom of others. Now, Peaceful Assembly Act provides for a peaceful assembly in a place or an area where it is gazetted as a place where you can demonstrate. Or, if you want to demonstrate in a place where it is not gazetted, then we have to ask the owner of the place where you want to demonstrate whether the owner agrees or not. That's why we require the period of 7 days notice to be given to the police. As you know, Dataran Merdeka has an owner. Every land in this country, whether it is small or big, there is an owner. You cannot simply wish to demonstrate in places belong to another person. So when they wanted to demonstrate in front in Dataran Merdeka, they have to ask the Dewan Bandaran Kuala Lumpur, because Dewan Bandaran Kuala Lumpur is the owner of the land. Otherwise, you'll be encroaching on the rights of the others. I've said earlier, you can exercise your freedom for as long as you do not affect the rights of others. Dataran Merdeka belongs to Dewan Bandaran, and it is up to Dewan Bandaran whether they want to allow or not. And in this case, the Dewan Bandaran has not allowed, has not given permission for them to hold their demonstration there. Look, this is not a debate, okay? I'm giving you a reply. I'm not here to make you happy, but I'm giving you a reply why certain things happen, why certain things did not happen. As I've said, there are laws in this country. You can demonstrate, there's no problem, yeah? But the moment you encroach on the rights of the others, that's where your rights stop. That's question number 2. Number 3, you look like a person who believes in freedom of expression. What Perkasa did, you may not like it, but that is their right to express what they feel. You must not be parochial in the sense that you only believe in what you want to believe. Now, if you believe in the freedom of expression, there are certain things uttered by you probably, or by some group, which may not be palatable to the ears of others, but they tolerate it because they know it's your right. So in term, when it comes to Perkasa, I don't agree. I don't agree with what the Perkasa leader made a statement in newspapers and everything else in the media. I don't agree with him, but I must respect his freedom of right, freedom, the freedom of right to speech. So we must be tolerant. If you want people to be tolerant of you, if you want people to respect your what you say about freedom of speech, then however unpalatable some speeches are made by others, you must tolerate also, because that is what is meant by freedom of speech. But if they break any law, we will take action against them. Okay.
Thank you. Just 2 points to note before we proceed. One is keep your questions as brief as possible.
Dato Sri, I'll shortly read you something our Deputy Prime Minister said. He said, I am Malay first, but being Malay doesn't mean I'm not Malaysian. And how can I say I'm Malaysian first and Malay second? All the Malays will shun me and it's not proper. Now, I believe you yourself, Dato Sri, you said at one point, yes, I'm Malaysian first and Malay next. Does any bigot have a problem with that? Now, I don't think you've been shunned by the Malays, you know, and I think it was a fantastic declaration to make, you know, I'm Malaysian first. But don't you think that the DPM should follow suit and the other leaders in government should follow suit? Rather than declaring that they are Malay first, they should pledge allegiance to being Malaysian first. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. You want to debate? We have another session. 3 or 4 you can debate with me, but this is a Q&A. Yeah, yes, I want to say here right now, and I know the DPM is coming after it, I'm a Malaysian first, and the Malay second. I've got no problem with that. I think, you know, by birth, we are what we are. By birth, we are either Chinese, Tamil, or Indian, or Malay, yeah. But I think in Malaysia, everybody that's born in this country, if you listen to the national song, yeah, the national song, Negaraku, Tanah Tumpah Darahku, that's where you spilled the first blood when you were born in this country. That's where you owe your allegiance. We're all born in this country. And when we die, in Bahasa you say, kita akan disemadikan. We all be buried in this ground, in this earth, which is called Malaysia. That's why we're all Malaysian. And I want to tell you that, yes, I will continue to speak up for all Malaysians. Yeah, I got no problem with that. But if there are other leaders who says differently, I think it's not fair for you to ask me why he said that. You ask him, don't ask me. Okay? I cannot answer for him. I can only answer for myself. And I want to say again, I am a Malaysian first, like all of you. Yeah? Okay.
Question?
The government introduced Vision School, also known as Wawasan, Sekolah Wawasan. It's a good idea, but it only lasted only 5 years. Why does it fail? Is it because of the implementation of the policy or people acceptance towards it? That's all. Thank you.
I think I can understand that you know, Malaysia is the only country in the world where you have 4 academic stream. When you go to school, from the primary school, and you have the national stream using Bahasa, and then you have the Mandarin, the Tamil, and the mission school. Now, we are the only country in the world, and I think this is really, really excellent for us, tackling the problem of multiracial country like ours. It is important. I mean, the school using mother tongue is not necessarily just giving education, but also to maintain the culture of the various communities in the country. And I think we should continue with this. There's no problem, because when you have Mandarin, Tamil, mission school, it is a choice of the people whom to which school they want to send the children. I believe that you know, I should have gone to a Chinese school. I'm very unhappy with my dad. He sent me to a English school. Those days when I was in school, we have got the English medium and the Malay medium. I went to the English medium school, but I wish I'd gone to the Chinese medium school so that I can know what you people are talking about me. Now you, now I feel forever, I feel I'm handicapped, because Chinese Malaysian will be very fluent in English, Bahasa, and Mandarin, but forever I will feel that I'm inferior because I only know 2 languages. So you know, now you know why I'm very angry with my dad. Yeah? So I think when you talk about Sekolah Wawasan, it was more because I think the people did not embrace it. People want a Chinese school to remain Chinese because it's not just about the language, it's also about the custom. Yeah? So I think there was no support, and you know, even the managers of the Chinese and the Indian school, they were not keen on this Wawasan school. So I think the failure of that plan was more because the Rakyat did not embrace it. So this is what I think. It's only my opinion. Probably there's some other reasons, but this is what I think, what happened. Yeah. Next.
Me, I would like to know what is the jurisdiction of the proposed law academy by the government, and if, let's say, a conflict arises between the standpoints of the Bar Council and the law academy, who will prevail in that sense? Thank you.
Okay, between the whether we want to accept the opinion of the Bar Council or the opinion of the Law Academy, because both their opinions will only remain as another opinion. It will not hold the government for not agreeing with them. Yeah, there was never an occasion, there will never be an occasion whereby the government will be subject to accept, any opinion or decision made by any of the two institutions. So that situation will not arise. Yeah, we don't have to choose between the Law Academy or the Bar Council. They can give their opinion. It is up to us to decide which one we want to choose. One day we may agree with the Bar Council, another day we may agree with the Law Academy. And one thing I want you to know, that the government, we always listen. Yeah, we always listen. I think if you tell us that one opinion is not enough, then we agree that it should be a few opinions. And what it means is that not necessarily what the Bar Council says or decides is right. Neither do I want to say that what the Law Academy says or decides is right. It's up to us, the government. We are elected by the people. We will decide on which decision made by either one of these two institutions we will follow, or we may choose to ignore both of them. Of course, there are people who say that, this Law Academy, this is a planning by Dato Nazri, and he say, wants to pit one institution against another. I want to tell you here, the Bar Council is created by the government. Okay, it's created by the government. So if we cannot control the Bar Council, what makes you think that we can control the Law Academy? There's no guarantee, yeah? Because the Bar Council was created by us, by the government. We created it, until now we can't control it. So what made you all think, not you lah, those who are against this, what made they all think that we can control the Law Academy? No way. The only thing is that the Law Academy will give a better alternative when it comes to when we want an opinion, for example. Because the Bar Council, they all be very busy with their profession. They'll be busy defending their clients. They'll be very busy signing, witnessing agreements. They have to make money to pay their employees. Whereas those in the Law Academy, they don't have time for that. I mean, they either work as an employee with the bank or the government, and they are free. Yeah, they have free time. And some of them, for example, like those in the academia, they have all the time. They deal with the law all the time, and I think they have the time to write an opinion if the government wants to know an opinion on certain areas. So that is actually in pursuing scholarship activities, which we feel that the Bar Council, the members, do not have time for it. Yeah? So don't worry about this. The government is not pitting the Law Academy against the Bar Council. As I've said earlier, there's no guarantee that once this Law Academy is formed, it's going to listen to what we want them to do. No way. Yeah?
Stance and the government's stance on the issue of LGBT And why did we ban the LGBT movement, specifically the Sexuality Merdeka, which was banned in year 2011, and as it does not infringe others' right? That's all, thank you.
I think that's a very good question, again, from you. First of all, I think we must remember that this LGBT is something which is a new phenomena in this country, and I believe that the old religions they have sanctions and rules against such activities. It's not just Islam, but I think in other religions too. Okay. Now, in this country, in the Malaysian Constitution, it clearly says that Islam is the religion of the Federation, yeah, and other religions are free to be preached in this country. But it specifically mentions that Islam is the religion of the Federation. It is in the Constitution. Therefore, any activities which deem to be against the core of the religion, Islam, which is the religion of the Federation, any action or deeds which go against the grain of the Aqidah of Islam will not be acceptable in this country. Yeah? And in Islam, of course, same-sex activities are something which the religion does not look kindly upon. Don't blame me. Yeah? I'm a Muslim, and Islam is the religion of the Federation. Therefore, such activities will be considered as unconstitutional, because in the Constitution it clearly says that Islam is the religion of the Federation. When you talk about LGBT, the next thing you talk about will be same-sex marriage. Same-sex marriage, yeah? Now, in Islam, same-sex marriage is not allowed, because under the hukum nikah, it specifically says that for a marriage to be recognized, yeah, for a marriage to be recognized, it must have 5 or 6 conditions. One, I'm talking about Islam. It must be Muslim. Number 2, there must be a man. And number 3, there must be a woman. 4, 5, and 6 goes on. So in Islam, Islam does not recognize same-sex marriage. Therefore, that cannot happen in this country, because Islam is a religion of the Federation. And because of that, such activities are going to be unconstitutional, yeah, in Malaysia, because in the Constitution it clearly says that Islam is the religion of the Federation. And as such, it follows that cannot happen in this country. If you want to see it happen, then you have to amend the Constitution. You have to amend the Constitution. And sure, you can amend the Constitution because you require two-thirds of the majority in the Parliament. You can amend it. But as of today, that cannot happen. And that is why, if we want to enforce the law, such activities cannot be recognized in Malaysia. That's the legal reason that I've given. Okay?
Thank you. Article 153 in our federal constitution illegal. My question is that we know that the government is suggesting the National Harmony Act. Does it actually give us the power to actually discuss it legally and harmoniously? And can you just give us a bit of insight of what the National Harmony Act is about? Thank you.
Okay. All right. There's hatred or anger towards the government, because they were not an elected government. They were a government imposed upon the people of Malaya then. Now this is 2012. Certainly the law is archaic. Yeah? We feel that any criticism or hatred against the government is legitimate, because that is expressing your views. Even before we decided to abolished the Sedition Act 1948, actually the government has tolerated dissent against the government for a long, long time. Even at the time when we had our first elections, the fact that there are some people who voted against the government, there is a statement saying that you don't agree with the government. It is tolerated, yeah, since before independence. So now we want to remove that. We feel that after having looked at the law is archaic, 1948. Certainly now in 2012, it is legitimate for any citizen of the country to express their opinion, be it against the government. This must be allowed because freedom of expression is guaranteed by the Constitution. So that's why now we decided to abolish this act, but to introduce what we call the National Harmony Act, taking into consideration that this country does not belong to one community, does not belong to one religious group, do not belong to one group who practice only one culture. We come from diversified background, and the country has so far been peaceful, largely because we took into consideration, and we still take into consideration, the differences in our background in terms of racial, mother tongue, practices, and adat rasam and all that. Now, you must remember, we cannot allow for absolute freedom in your expression. So that's why we believe that this Sedition Act is outdated, but in view of our different background, we need to have a law to ensure that there is harmony in this country. Why? If you remember, only about a year ago, there was a big protest by the Hindu community, and rightly so, in this country, when the Education Ministry decided to have a book called Interlock to be used as a book which everybody should read and study and answer questions. Yeah? So in that book, there is a word which refers to some of the Indian community then as pariah. Now I think if pariah is used in America or in UK, it does not touch any sensitive point of any person over there. But not so in this country. And for the Hindu community, it is very offensive. It's very offensive. It is something which is very sensitive. And if we are to allow the word pariah to be used often and freely, that will affect the sensitivities of the Hindus. And this happened only a year ago. So it is in these circumstances that we have to think that certain words cannot be uttered because it infringes on the feelings of our fellow Malaysians. And we want to have harmony in this country. So in the light of such situation, we feel that there is still need to be a law to cover national harmony, because there will be certain things which we still cannot say. Yeah, we still cannot say. For the Malays, for example, to call them anak haram and all that, very offensive. And I'm sure among the Chinese, there are also some words which are sensitive, which we should not use freely because that may affect national harmony of this country. So that is why even though we do without Sedition Act, we still need to have National Harmony Act to ensure that, you know, certain acts, for example, like, you know, we know that Hindus, the cow is a sacred animal. Certain act, like, you know, going in front of a Hindu community and you slaughter a cow, that is very offensive, very offensive. So in such situation, and even among the Malays, if you even, you know, take a piece of meat, pork, and you show to them that, look, I'm eating pork, that's still offensive in our country. And in such situations, we have to ensure that this do not happen in this country, because national harmony is paramount. We are a country of different culture, religion, and we need to ensure that all these sensitivities are taken care of, so that we can live in this country of Malaysia, we can call ours, without any community feel slighted in the things that the other community does. Yeah? So the National Harmony Act is what we want to have, and the Prime Minister has just announced, I think last week, the Aegis Chambers has been asked to have public engagement. We'll sit down and we'll listen to the public, and we will come up with a law which I hope will ensure national harmony in this country of ours, Malaysia. Yeah? Okay. But you can criticize the government, no problem. And me. Yeah.
Great. Question?
The crime rate in Malaysia is said to have decreased by 10 or 11%, right? But why are we having more and more cases of crime happening around us? Like, everyone has their own crime story to tell about. It's no longer like, I know
can you
this
speak slowly? Yeah, I can't really decipher what you're trying to say. Slowly.
Even though the crime rate in Malaysia is said to have decreased by around 10 or 11%.
Crime rate, yeah. Crime rate, okay, okay. I heard climate has increased.
So, yeah, so even though it's decreased, but why are we hearing more and more cases of like crime happening around us, like snatch thefts? Everyone has their own story to tell about nowadays.
What?
Even
yeah, crime rates are rising, and then
not decreasing. You said
crime rates are decreasing.
You said to a decrease, but from the public, what's observed is that everyone has their own story to tell about. Everyone has like someone has been robbed or killed or snatched everything. So it's like contradictory, even though it's decreasing.
Okay. Yeah. Sit down. Okay, let me tell you something. If I tell you, okay, if I tell you that crime in this country has reduced, you will never believe, because you do not have the statistics. All right? But I do not know what is wrong with us. We Malaysians seem to like to read newspapers, and we want to read about people being murdered, snatch, theft. All these are reported in the papers. Okay? Everything that happens in the country, which are crimes, will be reported fully in the newspapers. So what do you expect? Every day you are being fed, you know, with news saying that there's murder there, there's people who died here, and there's surely that will influence your mind. That will influence you, because you read the papers every day. And we chose to read all this, yeah? And because we chose to read all this, the newspapers have got no choice but to report and write all this. And that's why every day or every other 2 days, yeah, you will read about reports saying that the crimes happen here, crimes happen there. Then naturally, your impression would be that the crime has not decreased, but increased. So, but if you have the statistics, when we make a statement saying that the crime has decreased, that is actually based on statistics, on reports people made to the police station, and we collect all these reports of crimes, and when we compare with the year before, there has been a reduction. That's why the government is not wrong to say that crime has reduced. But of course, if the previous year the crime reported was 50,000, okay, and this year reduced by 20,000 to 30,000, you still feel 30,000, you still feel it. You still feel it in the country because 50,000, 30,000, still in the thousand. Yeah, still in the thousand. So that's why you still feel that crime is still around. Plus, papers reporting crimes every day, then you are right, you know. It's what people feel. People don't feel safe. Why people don't feel safe? Because crimes are still in the thousands. In the thousands. What difference? 50,000 to 30,000, what's the difference? You still feel there are crimes. So the government is not lying when we say that the crime has reduced. That is because we have the statistics. And certainly if the year before was 50,000 and this year 30,000, that is certainly a reduction. But you don't feel it. Yeah? I don't blame you. But at the same time, you cannot say that the government is lying. You can't say that because we have the statistics. And as I've said earlier, every day you read the papers, whichever papers you read, you see crime committed all the time. So when you read it, you'll be influenced and you don't feel safe. So I don't blame you. But at the same time, I cannot say that the government is lying because we have statistics to show that it has reduced. Yeah? Okay. If you want to feel...
Dato Seri, my question is, as of today, what is your personal take on Dato Ambiga and what's your personal opinion on what she stands for?
Okay.
Thank you.
With her. Yeah? I've got no problem with her. She's free to express what she wants to express. And you must remember, in everything we do, we are professional in our own occupation. Eh? She's a member of the bar. She used to be the chairman of the Bar Council. And she has got a stand on certain issues. And I'm a minister in the government. And I've got my own stand on certain issues. So if we can agree to disagree, that's fine. No problem. But at the end of the day, I do know that I get elected and she doesn't, that's all. Simple. People may be angry with me, with the statements I make against her. Yeah? People think that I dislike her, I hate her. I don't. Why should I? She's a nice lady. I know her very well. We used to work together. When she was chairman of the bar, I was Minister of Law. I still am Minister of Law. But she's no longer chairman of the bar. That's a difference. Huh? So I don't know what else to say, but honestly, I got no problem with her. Yeah? No problem at all. But don't cross the law. You cross the law, the line, I will take action against her. That's all. Nothing personal. Yeah?
Can we take the question from front first before we go there?
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, Dato Seri. You mentioned earlier that one is free to exercise his freedom of speech so long as he does not infringe on other people's rights. But what is your opinion on the burger protests and bike protests right outside Ambiga's house? You might not agree with her ideals, but shouldn't someone come out and protect her? Isn't it like selective use of the law if you don't take action against people infringing upon her privacy?
Yeah. Why do you ask me that question? I wasn't the person who had the burger stall in front there. You ask me that question as if I agree with them. I don't agree with them. Two wrongs do not make one right. Very simple. Yeah. And certainly, you know, if anybody infringes the privacy of the others, we will take action if they break the law. Yeah? So I want you to know that I don't agree with them. I don't agree with them because I'm law minister. I'm Minister of Law. Don't play a fool with me. Eh? I am forced. I have to set example. I cannot be double standard. I cannot say because I didn't like what Ambega do, so whoever wants to do anything against her, that's fair game for me. No, that's not true. I do not agree with that, because I have said earlier, two wrongs do not make one right. In doing that, if they break the law, certainly I will ask the first to be reported to the police, and if they have committed an offense, I would certainly request for the AG's chambers to take action against them.
Question?
Dato Seri, I agree with you that freedom of speech cannot be absolute, but you've done a pretty good job of illustrating how in Malaysia your freedom of speech can be curtailed, not just where it directly infringes the freedoms of other people, but where it might compel some others to indirectly compel some others to infringe the rights of other people. For example, in Malaysia, you have a situation where anything, especially if it's related to race or religion, especially the special privileges of the Malays, stuff like that can be curtailed on the argument that it might make certain people in our society so angry that they might decide to be violent and kill and hurt other people. And the problem with this is that by pandering to sensibilities like that, these people tend to get more and more sensitive and more unreasonable, so that, you know, a couple of years back we had people getting very angry and violent because non-Muslims used the name Allah. And my question is that by compromising freedom of speech in the name of harmony, don't you think that the people in your society that way never learn self-control? They never learn tolerance for different viewpoints. And it encourages them to continue being violent because they know that by threatening violence, they can shut up anyone they want. So what kind of society do you think will emerge if this continues, and what stand do you think the government should take on this issue? Thank you.
You know, it's easier for someone to say things like what you just said, because you do not have responsibility for the safety and security of the people of this country. It's easy. I can agree with you. Why not? I can call Hindu friend, yeah, you pariah. We can allow that. Why not? But you must remember, you are intelligent. Okay? You are educated. You are someone who studying overseas and probably also come from a well-educated family.
I know.
But many others down there are still not as educated as you are or tolerant as you are. You cannot assume yourself to be the man on the street in Malaysia. So whatever you feel, that should how the others feel on the street. Because we still have people down there, who may not be as tolerant as you are. We can have this Sedition Act abolished and don't have National Harmony Act, yeah, and free for all, no problem. But as I've said, just a year ago, when the book was introduced, Interlock, to be used as a book to be studied by those who study kesusastraan Melayu, already a group of people representing the Hindu community stood up and got very angry. So that goes to show that you are not the majority. There are still people who are very sensitive and who will be, who will take actions which may be against the law because they feel that the government is not doing anything, yeah, allowing this group of Malay academics to introduce this book and use the word pariah on all Hindus. That's very upsetting for the Hindus. We and the government, we cannot wait until, you say, we won't be, if we allow this, then we won't be an open society forever. Yeah. But do I in the government want to see that the Indians really get very angry and start to burn building and probably, in that process, injured some people, only then I want to take action. You will not be responsible. But I will be responsible because you say, hey, you Minister of Law, why didn't you realize this before? Why didn't you do this? You see, we are in the government, we have to think about all this, which you all don't have to. Because at the end of the day, if there's going to be don't underestimate, yeah? Even the slaughter of a cow in front of Hindu, that will upset them. Don't underrate or what this thing can do to certain group of people who are, very sensitive about such issues. Do we wait until such a riot should happen first? Then we decide to have a National Harmony Act. At that time, people will say, Minister, why didn't you have this law? You know already people are sensitive. Now you have this law, but my boys are dead now. Killed in the riot and all that. No amount of laws introduced by you will bring back my son. I don't want to be blamed for that. It is better to be preventive, to take preventive action, rather than you wait until certain things happen, then only you start to think, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. I do not have that, we in the government, I as Minister of Law, I do not have that, orang kata apa, freedom, or I do not have that freedom to say that, look, it's not my fault. It's easy for you down there to say, you get all the claps and all that. You talk about open society, when are we going to be open society? But I want to tell you, not at the expense of even one life of a Malaysian. Yeah, we will not do that. And I will tell you, I will continue with this National Harmony Act, because more important for me is not what I think this country should be, but the lives and the well-being of the rakyat is paramount to all other idealism. Yeah.
I see hands behind, but I think time. We really cannot accommodate any more sessions. I'm so sorry.
Really small question, please. Please, Dato Sri.
Hey, not me. I'm okay, no problem.
I'm being given the cue from below as well.
It's not controversial, I assure you.
No, controversial is okay, no problem. I'm okay.
You know what, let's give it to, very brief, very quickly,
yes,
please.
Please, thank you. Good evening, Dato Sri. My question is about the government image. Like it or not, we get our information online. So if you Google search Najib today, you will see Najib submarine scandal, Najib Altantuya. Now, my question is, because I'm majoring in public relations, I just want to know what steps is the government taking to manage their image online, to curb negative information, false claims that is being made on the internet. And
we believe in freedom of speech.
Thank you very much, Dato Sri. I'm sure we all enjoyed that session. We had tens more questions to be asked, but unfortunately time has run out. So I'm sure we'll be trying to host you very, very soon again. A big round of applause once again. Dato Sri. On that note, I think the session has come to an end. I'll pass the floor back to the MC. Thank you.